Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Lifetime Success with yours truly, Jennifer Yan, going live with the IBA Success Magazine. This is a journey for me. I am super excited to bring you all live videos for the next couple of weeks featuring the women warriors of this edition. I just did something, and I hope you all got to see it, was crossed off something off of my list. You know, something I've always said I wanted to do, which was interview Vanessa Eccles. So I crossed off the list. I did it. You know, it's a celebration mode, and I am keeping the ball rolling with women warriors over the next couple of weeks. So if you are watching, I hope you will like Jennifer Yan Agency if you have not already, so you can stay up to date with the interviews that's going to be coming on. I want you all to get the notifications. I want you all to join me to share the videos. This will be a journey of lives, women warriors, all out of the current edition of IBA Success Magazine. After interviewing the cover feature, the person that must go next is our very own storyteller. Our storyteller, let me just start talking about her a little bit. Let me just brag about her for a little bit before we bring her on. Miss Laura Dorsey has been a part of IBA Success Magazine for almost about 2 years, I want to say. When I talk about women that I look up to, Laura has also been one of those women. She was my professor when I attended college, and she inspired me again to see another strong woman that looked like me doing amazing things. When I reconnected back with Laura, it was on Godspeed. She was writing and really was looking for the next level for her writing, for her passion. So partnering with IBA Success Magazine came quite natural. Working with Laura over the last couple of years with writing and her telling the stories of our covers, as well as sharing her passion with us by allowing the magazine to grow and us growing together through her passion has just been so inspirational. So we're not going to hold on any further. We are going to bring our guest on. This is the Women Warrior series. We are interviewing all of the ladies that's a part of this series. Amazing series, inspiring series. Every lady that I talk to has a story to tell that I promise will leave you wanting more. So as we kick in the series, we keep it moving. I want to welcome Laura Dorsey, the master storyteller, to the IBA Success Lifetime show with Jennifer Yan Agency. How are you, Laura?
I'm wonderful, Jennifer, and how are you?
I am great. Okay, so first, I've already talked about you before you came on. But I have to say, the fire behind you looks amazing.
Yes.
So we go back. We're good friends. I'm not as nervous as I was in my first interview with previous. So we're going to just chit chat. And Vanessa gave me a little bit of advice when she said, just talk like, nobody's listening. It's just us chit chatting. So that's what we're going to do. You are one of our women warriors in this current edition. And I told the story a little bit about, how we reconnected with you being my professor and how, what a privilege it is for us to work together with IBA Success Magazine. So before we start talking more about, your feature, let's talk a little bit about the magazine. Tell me what it's been like for you writing stories, especially this story with Vanessa Eccles.
This story was especially great for me too. Like, it was on your bucket list. I don't know if it was on my bucket list, but Vanessa has always been somebody that I admired. I attended one of the fundraising that she had for her cancer foundation, and I was just so mesmerized just with that. having had two sisters who had had breast cancer, one had a double mastectomy and one had a single mastectomy, having survived throat, thyroid cancer of my own, I understand the value of caregivers after having dealt with cancer. And so her organization has always been an inspiration. To see what she has done with it and how she started it was definitely inspiration. So the fact that you allowed me to interview her, and she was so gracious, in her interview, and that she allowed me just to write her story. I told her, I said, I want to tell something everybody knows about you. I want to write about something that nobody else knows. And so we again had the conversation, and she allowed me to do that. So I was so pleased, so happy.
Yes, this is a very special edition, the first edition of 2021. We're focused on women warriors. We're focused on nonprofits and Black History Month. So many great things is going to happen over this next 3-month campaign. The interviews, the Zoom events, the networking events, virtual, and a couple of in person. I'm just excited to work with all of the women in this edition. So when I thought about a woman warrior, and my definition of one, of course, you were one of the next people on my list to say, okay, she needs her woman warrior feature in this edition. You've accomplished so much. In a short period of time, I'm going to say that I've seen as far as entrepreneurship. What has the last, year, 2 years been like for you, creating and walking down your entrepreneur path?
It has been amazing. I would tell you, like I would tell everyone, that I'm not an entrepreneur. Never have been. It was never my desire to be. I love teaching. I like having a regular job where I know I got a regular paycheck coming in and whatever. So entrepreneurship wasn't it for me. But in these last few years, being allowed to do what I want to do because I want to do it in the time frame that I want to do has been so liberating. Has been so liberating. I am blessed, unlike a lot of me entrepreneurs, where I am in a situation now where I'm here, with my daughter and my son-in-law, and I'm allowed to like follow my passion. Even if it's not bringing me six figures like my regular career was, I love what I do every day. I love the writing. I love the storytelling. I love being able to be part of the magazine and being a part of everything that we've done. I'm loving it. I'm happy.
Yes, the journey with having you write the stories. You know, I am that person that I love to look online, but when the magazines arrive and I'm able to flip through the pages, the feeling is just even more amazing. Especially when I see individuals that I'm inspired by, and businesses that I'm able to bring show the light to. Uh, Being able to provide a platform for you to advertise yourself, to grow your passion, I think is one of the most greatest things that I enjoy in our relationship. So
Me
one
too.
thing I want to talk about, and we're going to talk about a couple things, because a woman warrior sometimes have multiple skill sets and dibble and dab and a lot of different things, but they keep going and they keep leveling up. What are some of your passions outside of writing?
One of the things that I typically I love teaching. I love, absolutely love teaching. I love education as a focus. My nonprofit work has to do with one of the nonprofits, the boards I sit on is Infinite Scholars, has to do with education. That has been my passion, everything that I've gone through over the past 6, 7 months since the school year has. We've done 35 virtual scholarship fairs for Infinite Scholars. And so even though I'm not in the classroom, I'm still involved in it. And for me, that's a big thing. That is a focus.
So, Infinite Scholars, tell us a little bit about that organization. What does it do, and how can a person get involved?
Infinite Scholars is a 501c3. They're actually based out of St. Louis. That middle scholars does one thing and one thing well. We help deserving students go to college. And we help them do that by providing them with the resources that they need in order to be successful. So we do that by facilitating scholarship fairs. We do 27 scholarship fairs across the country when we're doing physical scholarship fairs, from anywhere from St. Louis to Detroit, Atlanta to Birmingham, Alabama. We do fairs in Florida and Jacksonville, all over. We're expanding into New Orleans, into Las Vegas. We go to Texas. Where we can find students who need scholarship information, and we can provide that scholarship information. I am so excited that we're actually going to do our first HBCU scholarship fair at Bethune-Cookman next year. So
Ah,
we're going to host a fair on the campus of Bethune-Cookman. It has been one of my bucket list things, and so I'm so excited that we're going to do that. Just helping students with the
yes.
resources that they need to go to college.
I love that. I believe youths are so important. Nonprofits we need nonprofits for so many different things. When I created my nonprofit last year, it was for that reason. My passion and what pushed me is just being a part of your events. I'll never forget the experience of being in Sanford and watching so many youths get so much of scholarship money on the spot. It really inspired me to say, okay, there is an organization that are helping youth get into school. So I would love to use my passion to help you start their businesses. So I'm going to enjoy working with you and, giving sharing some of my use with you as you share some of yours with me and helping them reach their goals. So
Yeah,
if you are watching, this is Lifetime Success. This is the Women Warrior Edition. We are interviewing Laura Dorsey, our master storyteller, our woman warrior. She's also a part of Infinite Scholars. We just talked a little bit about Infinite Scholars, what they do, how you can get involved. I'm going to go ahead and put the website at the bottom of the screen. So if you're watching, make sure to check them out. This is one of the land of many. So I say many because I'm sitting here holding a book, and you are in this book. Okay. So, first of all, as we talk about a woman warrior, something that's very amazing to me, you all that's watching, is when you can embrace yourself at any age that you're in. The book that you are a part of is Embracing My Sexy 60s. Like, first of all, Embracing My Sexy 60s. Tell me about this project that you are a part of.
this was an amazing project. There are 20 women altogether, so 19 other women besides myself that are all at the age of 60. We all range from actually 60 to 69. There's women in the book at every single age. And what we're saying is that we're not our mother's 60. 60, how they always say 50 is a new 30, whatever. Well, 60 is a new different. For all of us, we're finding different things. We're doing different things. We don't look like old ladies that we would, ordinarily
No.
think what what we would do at 60. All of us are finding our stride, and everybody's being able to tell part of their story. Obviously, you're not going to tell the whole story in a chapter, but being able to tell a story and being able to share lessons learned.
Mhm.
Lessons learned, at that here that hopefully you'll be able to inspire other people too.
So first of all, I know like myself, and I'm sure everybody else that's watching, they're saying 60. Where is she 60 at? What do you do to stay looking radiant through your 60s?
I think that is probably, how they say good genes or black don't crack, whatever it is that they want to say. I don't do anything in particular. It's like I don't have a particular regime. I I spend a lot of time making sure that my appearance is immaculate. I spend time and money on my hair. I spend time and money on my glasses. I spend time and money on my appearance. I've learned to love me, and
Hmm.
I put the effort in. I put the effort into making sure that I like what I look like. what what my brand is. I came to you, my brand expert, and I said, what is my brand? And you were like, you are your brand. So this is my brand. This is what I sell, and I put the money in.
Yes, you know what? That's investing. That's investing in yourself. So
Yeah,
everything you just said, ladies, listen, if we are going to embrace our 60s, we have to learn how to invest in ourselves. You heard it right here from Miss Laura. She says she puts the money in. Okay. So when you started, when you got approached about being a part of this book, was it an automatic, like, of course, I'm in?
absolutely not. I have been writing for years. I tell
Okay.
everybody else's story. I tell everybody else's thing, but I had never written about myself. Had never
Okay.
written anything about myself. And so when this idea came up, and I was like, there's nothing about me that's important that anybody would want to, share. And
Mhm.
so I came to my daughter, and so we had a conversation that says it in the book, mothers and daughters have their own conversations. She was like, the only thing you ever did was marry my daddy. That's the best thing you ever did. And I was like, okay, well, if that's the best thing I ever did, let me write a story about marrying your daddy. So
So you told a little bit about some of your experiences. What can a person expect if they purchase this book?
one of the things that you can expect if you purchase this book is to learn a little bit about the story. Like I said, we write the story to be able to tell lessons. I think the lesson that I got out of this, that I wanted everybody to get out of the story, is that love sometimes doesn't look like what you thought it was going to look like.
Hmm.
I thought that my knight in shining armor was going to come along, and we all have our vision of what our knight in shining armor was going to come along and be. And mine just happened to have gray hair, and to be 30 years older than I was. And
Wow.
even though it defied society's logic, it worked for us. I was 21 when I met my husband, he was 56. For both of our families, there was obviously something that wasn't good. But for me, it worked. For my family, it worked. For my daughters, it worked. And so sometimes you just got to go your own way and not pay attention to what everybody else says and what everybody else wants. And that's what my lesson was. My
Hmm.
husband at that point supported me. A good marriage says, the scripture says, being equally yoked. My husband may not have been equally yoked because he had his life already going on, but he was willing to sacrifice everything to make sure that myself and my daughters have. When you're a single parent and you have daughters, you have to be so specifically careful about who you bring into your life, into your daughter's life. I hit the jackpot. He just happened to be 30 years older than I was.
Wow. I promise you all, if you tune in through this Woman Warrior series, you're going to be inspired. I've gotten so many nuggets just now in this short interview. Okay. What advice? Because I feel like you've already given some advice. I just took some to home. Okay. But if you was talking to your younger self, what advice would you give her?
You have to do what makes you feel good, and you have to know that. One of the things that right now and everything, I've always known who I was. And, I would say that I'm not the wife. I'm not good wife material. I don't cook, I don't clean. That's not who I am. Okay, but I am very much career orientated. I know who I am and what I want, and you need to have somebody who's going to support who you are and what you want. That will help you grow. You can't just be stagnant. That will help you grow. And so that you always want somebody to be that. Well, you have to choose somebody that when you go to a corporate event, who's going to stand by your side and it's going to be okay. When you decide that what it is that you're going to do, that you're going to have somebody who's supporting that, not somebody who's going to pull you down and bring you down, somebody who's going to push. My husband pushed, you know,
Mhm.
my husband came up with ideas and stuff about things that I never would have come up with. The reason I am who I am today, I owe all to him, and I say it. And I never got a chance to I think, tell him the way I wanted to. So now that he's passed away, This book was my love story to him. This February is Valentine's Day Loves Month. This is my love story to him, to tell him
Oh,
how much I love.
okay. I'm not gonna drop no tears on this interview. You know what? Again, you have to love yourself, and that is the, advice that it doesn't really matter how old you are. That's advice that you want to share and give, and growing within myself. Those are some of the things that at the age I am right now, I'm learning as well. Um, if you are tuning in, this has been a Lifetime Success interview women warrior series. We're interviewing all of the ladies that's in the current edition. We have over 20 ladies. So subscribe to our YouTube, like IBA Success Magazine, Jennifer Yon Agency, on Facebook. So you can get all of the announcements when our next speakers, our next guests will come on. This series will go over for the next couple of weeks. And again, I promise you, the conversations will be inspiring. If you flip through the pages of our current edition, we've talked about this amazing book, Embracing My Sexy 60s. If you look in the current edition, you go to ibaSuccessMagazine.com, you will actually see a little information and how you can purchase your own copy of this book. So ibaSuccessMagazine.com, we have newly launched our book corner inside of this edition. So this amazing book with our storyteller is on the pages, as well as a couple of more. All that is watching, thank you so much for joining, staying tuned. Laura, any last minute words you want to say before we end our session tonight?
Jennifer, I just want to thank you for recognizing some of the women. Again, all superheroes don't wear capes and don't wear costumes. Some of us are just everyday people and just doing the best that we possibly can. And so thank you for recognizing that.
And thank you for taking the time to be here with us tonight. And thank you all for watching another episode of Lifetime Success with Jennifer Yon Agency. Stay tuned because we have so much more in store. Have a good night, everyone.